Hello, my name is Rachel and I am the Thrifty Crocheter. And today is Sunday, June the 8th. There's a little bit ahead of myself here. My pages are stuck together. Give me a second. There we go. June 8th, All Sufficient Cross. I trust in the all-sufficient cross of Christ alone. 1 Corinthians 1:17. This verse frames the wisdom of the past, present, and future. Jesus' suffering, death, and resurrection is the wisdom of God. It is also God's power to redeem all. Healthy eating, fitness regimes, or media restrictions show us how often we wish to live better lives. Successful role models give us little tidbits of wisdom to sustain us on this path, but the wisdom of Paul speaks about is eternal. Wise sayings and good advice can teach the present, but how much better is wisdom that strengthens the eternal soul? That kind of advice starts with God's gift on the cross. As you grow in wisdom, grow your trust in the all-sufficient cross and encourage others in their understanding of life, gifted by a good Creator and Father. Act of kindness. Write an encouraging note and put it on someone's desk. That one is really nice. That is a really good idea. Sometimes you feel like co-workers just need that little word of encouragement. June the 8th. The Lord will perfect that which concerns me. Psalm 138:8. I sat down at my computer this morning to write an important letter, a task that I'd been putting off. But the words didn't come easily, so I decided to clean my keyboard instead. Another procrastination technique. I got some cotton swabs from the bathroom, some cleaning solution from the kitchen, and I went to work wiping off each key. Boy, that would have taken a while. Then, when I noticed that the question mark key was much dirtier than the exclamation Oh, that's when I noticed the question mark key was much dirtier than the exclamation mark key. Okay. Had I been doing more questioning than exclaiming lately? How about since I woke up this morning? I easily remembered several questions. Why did I eat 2 muffins? Why is my friend experiencing more than her fair share of difficult circumstances? Why do I still worry about our children even though they're grown and gone? What should I say in this letter? Why do I procrastinate so much? How about exclamations? Had I uttered any words of conviction? My mind went totally blank. But then I spotted some, right there above my desk, a bunch of God's promises that I'd taken from the Bible and written on sticky notes so they would permeate my mind when I sat there. I could do all things in Him who strengthened me, Philippians 4:13. For nothing is impossible with God, Luke 1:37. The joy of the Lord is my strength, Nehemiah 8:10. The joy of the Lord is my strength. 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 Sorry, I had to say that. God is with me always, Matthew 28:20. God knows the plans He has for me to give me hope and a future, Jeremiah 29:11. Amazing how those one-line promises could become exclamation answers to most of my questions. I looked down at the clean keyboard. The question mark and the exclamation point are at opposite ends, I thought, but for today, at least, I've connected them. Now, back to the letter. Father, may every question today lead me to an exclamation of your promises. Carol Kuykendall. She has a lot of them in here, and they're always really good. But she makes a really fair point. She really does. In this one. And finally, the illustrated words of Jesus for women. I'm having troubles today. I don't know why. June 7, prayer and relationship. Forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Matthew 6:12. Jesus began the Lord's Prayer by honoring God's name, and then he gave all control to God. Next, he asked God to help us forgive others. Now he asked God for forgiveness, but the prerequisite to that request is forgiving others. So this example shows that we shouldn't ask God to do things for us that we aren't willing to do for others. Remember that Jesus always focused on relationships. It is pointless for us to come to God with praise and requests with relationships that aren't willing to deal with others, forgive others. I think I already read this one. Yes, I did. I wrote that yesterday. Okay, June 8th. That was June 7th. Here's June 8th. I'm tired, folks. I had church this morning, then I went to my dad's house for lunch. We chit-chatted with family for a while. And then I went to the grocery store. So now I'm just tired. I think that's why I'm having problems. I apologize. June 8th. Today is the June 8th. Prayer and temptation. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. God will never lead you into temptation. You may lead yourself or Satan may lead you. That's why Jesus taught us to pray for protection from temptation. It will come. You can bank on that. The closer you follow Jesus, the more temptation you will face. Satan sneaks into your mind and heart and tempts you to do things you know are disobedient to God. So Jesus teaches us to pray that God will protect us from those temptations. Don't fall into the tempter's snare, I wrote. And then the temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. And God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, he will show you a way out so that you can endure. 1 Corinthians 10:13. I mean, it's a good day, but when your mind is tired, sometimes it's hard to do things. So I really apologize. I really do. I just want to double check and make sure I read the correct ones today. Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. All right. This small swatch of yarn has been woven with prayer. As you hold this swatch in your hand, may you feel God's strength, love, and peace flow and know that he holds you in his hands. May God bless and comfort you in time of need and give you peace. Amen. And I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. A blessed Sunday, because today is Sunday. And tomorrow starts another work week. And love y'all. Bye.